What's up, guys? My name's TwitchyJay, and I wanted to do something a little bit different today. With E3 underway and all of the major press conferences already out of the way, I wanted to take a minute and sit down and talk about some of the things that I personally was the most excited about, and things that are probably going to be on this channel later on once they are out and are things. I'm probably going to skip over a lot of the stuff that was mentioned during these conferences, but I will have links in the description to all of the archived footage of the live streams. So if you guys didn't get a chance to see E3, click on the links in the descriptions and you can go watch the whole thing. It's several hours worth of announcements. But first thing we're going to talk about is the E3 conference. So the only two things that I was really excited about during the E3 conference were Mass Effect Andromeda, which I've been excited about for as long as it's been rumored and announced and a thing. But the only other thing was an indie game that was talked about very briefly called Faye. But Mass Effect first. Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be the fourth installment of the Mass Effect series. It is departing from the story of Commander Shepard. It's taking place in an entirely different galaxy, different characters, but the same core ideas, basically. The gameplay is going to be the same. A bunch of the species are going to be the same, but they're introducing a bunch of new ones, which is cool and exciting. And you may have noticed that I haven't uploaded any episodes of Mass Effect 1 in a while. Mass Effect playthroughs are on an indefinite hiatus, but you can bet your ass that Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be featured on this channel as soon as it comes out. And then the other game was Faye, as I mentioned earlier, which is an adorable looking indie game, and I love my indie games, where you play as some small creature. You wake up in a forest and bad shit's happening, and you and the other creatures in the forest have to stop that from happening. So there's some humanoid invasive force, if I recall correctly, and you basically use the other creatures of the forest to repel this force. It's another one of those European, the planet Earth is precious and we need to save it indie games like Unravel was, kind of, I think. Yeah, there was some of that in Unravel. Anyway, so those were the only two things that EA brought to the table that I was really excited for. They talked about all kinds of other crap, but who cares? Next up was Bethesda's conference. I was honestly a little bit disappointed in what Bethesda brought. They did talk about a couple of cool things. Quake is coming back, which is awesome. I'm very happy to see that their acquisition of it did not end at Doom, but they are just continuing with that whole idea of, you guys keep doing what you're doing, but do it better now. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to Quake. Even though I didn't play Quake a whole lot back in the day, I know what it is and I know what it means to gaming in general. It's a very important title in the history of gaming, and I look very much forward to playing the new one when it comes out. Beyond that, I was hoping for some information on Elder Scrolls 6, but unfortunately that did not happen. Instead, we got the Elder Scrolls Legends, which looks cool. It's a tradable or collectible card game, I guess. It's like Hearthstone and all of those games that are coming out now. But it takes place in the Elder Scrolls universe, which is very neat. Looks like something that I may be picking up for possible future scheduled live streams. Maybe. Haven't decided on that yet, but it's definitely something that I look forward to playing. The other thing that I thought was really cool looking was a new game that they announced called Prey. It's, as far as I know, it's an entirely new IP for Bethesda. It's like a futuristic sci-fi psych thriller type thing. I don't know. It looks like Portal and Dead Space had a love child, and it was Prey. So, I don't know, like the trailer had this guy waking up on the same day every day, but he kept getting in worse and worse condition, and then they're running tests on him, and there's like some kind of black goop monster that he's fighting. It looks like it's going to scare the shit out of me, and it looks like it's going to be hella fun to play. So I look forward to that coming out. Next up was the Microsoft conference. They talked about a whole bunch of stuff, like the Xbox One Slim, Project Scorpio, Gears of War, stuff like that I'm not really going to get into. I'm going to talk about the games that they talked about that I'm excited for. ReCore is something that I saw for the first time at E3 last year. It looks really cool, really interesting. The core mechanic, there's all these machines and robots all over the place, and they have this core that makes them function. You can move the cores from one to the other to activate them or deactivate them. Like you take it out of enemies to deactivate them, and you can put it into friendlies to get them to do things. But artistically it looks amazing. The gameplay looks really great, and I cannot wait for that game to come out, or really to get more information about it. I haven't really done a whole lot of digging. I'll have to do that, see if anything interesting turns up. Then there was CD Projekt Red. They announced a standalone Gwent game, and I've played I've played The Witcher 3 twice now. I played it on my PS4 before Sony aided me in destroying it. But unfortunately I didn't get very far, and then I had to buy the whole series again on PC because I got rid of the PlayStation, and I still have not gotten really anywhere. I've gotten to the Crones of Crookback Bog. I always have trouble saying that quest, and I know that's not even scratching the surface of that game, because I keep getting distracted just like I do with Skyrim. There's always a side mission here, or you go picking berries there, killing that drowner nest over there, just whatever. I never get anywhere, but I have enjoyed playing Gwent a lot. It's a very simple card game, and it's a whole lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it being its own standalone game. That's another one that I was looking at for possible live streaming down the road, because it's something that I can just, sit down, relax, play a game, hang out with you guys, talk, answer questions, shoot the shit. Sounds like fun to me. If that sounds like fun to you, let me know. Dead Rising 4 was announced. I haven't played Dead Rising in a long time. But since I'm trying to get back into playing games that are just fun at their core, nothing spectacular gameplay wise or story or anything like that. It's just fun killing hordes of zombies with new and ridiculous weapons. And judging from the trailer that they had for Dead Rising 4, some of the weapons like the Candy King crossbow thing and the zombie catapult thing, it just looks like a great deal of fun to be had. So that looks like another game that I might pick up and play on the channel. Who knows, we'll see. And then the last one that Microsoft talked about was Scalebound, which is something that it caught my interest early on when they were talking about it. It looked interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, because every time they show it, I'm like, man, this looks really cool. Looks like a whole lot of fun to play. But then later on, they end up having the guy put on his headphones, and it just looks really cheesy, and I don't really care for it. It looks kind of stupid when you add the whole I listen to music while I fight dragons and giant monsters thing, whatever. But if you can get past that, it looks really cool. Like in the they had a gameplay or multiplayer demo at E3 this year, where they were fighting a giant crab of all things, and it looked really cool. Like graphically looks beautiful, gameplay wise looks amazing. Just looks like a lot of fun. I'm very interested to see like story wise what's going on in the whole game. And like the guy's got like a dragon looking arm. I don't know what that's quite about, and he has some apparent link to an actual dragon. I don't know. Who knows? They may have actually discussed it. Once again, I haven't gone digging. I just keep seeing what shows up at these conferences, and I'm like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. So another game that I'm looking forward to playing for you guys if you're interested. And then Sony was late last night, or late-ish last night, and I didn't pay too close attention to anything that was going on at the Sony press conference because I no longer have a PlayStation 4, so a lot of these titles do not apply to me because I don't really have any plans to purchase another PS4, considering all the shit that went down with that, which I will not get into here or now. However, some of the games that are being developed for the PlayStation 4 are also being released on PC as well, so the games, for some of them, pertain to me and my interests. If I do end up getting another PS4, like if I can find one on the cheap or something, Crash Bandicoot is coming back, kind of. They didn't really announce a new Crash Bandicoot game, but they announced remasters of Crash 1, 2, and I think Warped was the name of the other one. Excuse me. For the PS4. So I loved Crash Bandicoot when I was a kid. PlayStation 1, I remember first I remember body slamming that polar bear to get the extra lives, but I also remember that playing Crash Bandicoot, we got the game before we had memory cards. And yeah, back in the day, you had to buy an extra thing to be able to save your game. It was ridiculous. So my brother and I didn't have a memory card to save our game, so we weren't sure if leaving the PlayStation on all the time was something that we could do. But we decided we've come too far in the game. We can't risk losing our progress, so we left it on all night, and it was not happy about that. But turns out that you can leave the PlayStation 1 on overnight, and it won't burn down your house or anything, or at least it didn't for us. Your mileage may vary. Crash he is coming back in a new game. It's just not going to be a Crash Bandicoot game. He is making an appearance in the next Skylanders game, which I guess is okay. I don't really care one way or another for Skylanders, but I'm glad that they have not completely abandoned Crash Bandicoot entirely, that they're making an effort to bring him back into the gaming spotlight today, because again, Crash Bandicoot was another very big part of video games. Not necessarily as big as like Tennis for Two or Doom or anything like that, but it was a big part of my gaming history. So I'm happy that it's coming back. The last game that caught my attention was one that wasn't talked about at the Sony press conference, but it was talked about during the pre-show. It's an indie title called Bound, where you play as a ballerina, which immediately caught my attention because that's interesting. It's something that I've never heard of another game where you play as a ballerina in a ballerina-based universe. I'm not sure story-wise a lot that's going to happen, but I know from the gameplay trailer, or the trailer that they showed, the gameplay looks amazing, just visually amazing. I'm sure music is going to be a big part of it, because as you guys that have been watching my Bastion playthrough have heard me say numerous times, music in video games is huge for me. So God, it looked gorgeous, every bit of it. It looked amazing, and I'm not even into ballet or dance or any of that stuff, but just this game looks absolutely amazing, and it's just a solid reminder of why I love indie games so much, and what they do and can do for gaming as a whole it's amazing. It's one of the reasons that I wanted and still do want to be an indie game developer and create games, you can go to college get a degree in programming and all that, or computer science, and learn all the languages, and go get a job at like one of the big development companies like Square Enix or whatever. But I mean, you're going to be basically taking somebody else's idea and then bringing their vision to life. And then you're going to be answering to the publisher and making changes based on what they think is going to make money. And you're going to end up cranking up the next installation of Call of Duty. Not that there's anything bad. I'm not going to talk shit about Call of Duty here or now. Because I understand that those franchises have a place in the gaming industry. But I think, for me, indie games have a much more valuable place as like bringing and maintaining the art aspect of video games. There's a place for games that are just fun. You just run around and shoot people like in Doom, or that do like historical war and stuff like that, like the old Call of Duty games did. But at the same time, being able to have an idea, like, man, I wish there was a game where blank, and then making a game where blank, and then making it so that other people can play it is just amazing. And I love everything that there is to be had about indie games. Anyway, I've rambled on about indie games enough. You guys don't care about that as much as I imagine you probably do. So that's it. That's all the big news that I saw come out of E3 so far this year. I know that the conference is continuing for the rest of the week, but those were the major announcements and conferences that caught my ear. So I'll have links in the description to all the videos and trailers that were used in this video, as well as links to all of the press conference videos. So if you guys haven't seen it or watched it already, you can go and watch it, see for yourself, because there's a bunch of stuff that was talked about that I didn't even mention. If you did watch E3, or you do end up watching it, post in the comments down below what game or games or console or announcement from E3 that you're most excited about, or if there's games that you saw that you would like to see featured on this channel later on in the year and next year. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.